Nsem-Pii TV nie.
Makoba edeba Nsem-Pii TV platform yi enso. Ghana Mampani John Dramani Mahama and report about Betudra say our hosem sebi enim guasesem and afi nsemwa enye de and akwakoto Ghana Mampani His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ewo obi man so. Enra, there were a lot of conversations ne akwantu a otu ako Japan and also some countries in the Asia region in regards to certain diplomatic relations via I was say a coso. Earlier on a conversation na akwakoye say on the private jet na koye which was the commercial na koye figures were being thrown around say $20,000 per hour. Actually, the bit to just say or the Fly Emirates a commercial plane home and a cocoa. Now, the Ababe Toja and say John Dramani Mahama, any NDC. Tro propaganda, any just say, and some who do or mokaye, and nina so be a enti and no abachichro mokon. Ama yesi Kosiada and John Dramani Mahama, a buna ketim free of Ghana. Now, the host Sem and say, Esan say to me enkofa private jet and be man akwantu aye jojo edi ama na akofa commercial flight inti for over 22 hours. Na His Excellency John Dramani Mahama just say why stranded anesa e wo Dubai onhu de wo ye ne ho enye ho no woko enye ho no wo so to me fa private jet I just want train e ma flight free Dubai e ko Japan ba ansan wetimi atena mu bi. Now, according to report, I free on mobile. I just say asem no asifum na awreho. Say a sovereign country like Ghana, a president, I could be maso for 22 hours. I just will train na commercial flighter. Will be a free video ko Japan and no be and offer. Now, when I Ghana phone in the say a day no man you be through ham. And nchirimu aba say o mu ankasa nsem o mkaye atora hodo mu die. And sebi nsem anyina so obi anim bi se Okudzeto abla kwa be kan say Ghana presidential jet no say engine ba akokora say ya chenchena mienu na kan yemfa ntuni nam wiem eno ena ma Ghana mampanyi che say ne ho akwakwa kire ne yie e wo bi man so a wo he video ne picture say ba o si free form a otum say wa bre yie papa enti se the report na nkasa isi ya body ba ene sasem we ankasa kwan a also ma mu nyina ye fa so ne deal with sasem
enanu kwesiada enwumre be no nsia ena otu free Accra on an Emirates airline flight to Dubai. And Muamako Dubai dan I mean roughly from Ghana to Dubai roughly 7-8 hours ubedi enti President Mahama free Ghana enra kwesiada nwumre be no nsia no okodru Dubai time 6 a.m. anopa no nsia Dubai time eno kokodu ye anopa no nsia Dubai time 6 a.m. Do you know sir the president had to wait in Dubai na e was so train with Dubai for 22 hours 22 hours and a train e with Dubai just to catch connecting flight or they be call Tokyo, Japan. Ain't Odru 6 a.m. which is Monday anopa Dubai time 6 a.m. no. Otu free Dubai. Tuesday ahomachi 2:40 a.m. from Dubai to Japan. And he waited in Dubai for 22 hours. 22 hours. The President of the Republic of Ghana. On an official trip of 22 hours. From Dubai to Tokyo, Odi a 9-hour flight. In Odi 9 hours on the flight. Odru Tokyo, conference now all konebeba so ewo Yokohama. Ain't from Tokyo to Yokohama. And also a 2 hours 30 minutes on train. And the president was in a train, public passenger train. Ena or the free Tokyo Echo Yokohama 2.5 hours the President of the Republic. And all of the president has to go through all this stress because of neoma politics. And I think for me, that is the biggest takeout from Sa. Because why in heaven's name should our president go through the stress on an official visit? Because Ofri Japan, he is going to Singapore. No free Singapore assign Abba back to Ghana. And look at him going through all these stress again. But Sentinel anything time NDC ewo opposition. Na omo pre ape to me no. In Nsem-Pii NDC fo bi ekekaye efa presidential travel so inti enne. Even when President Air call a long haul trip say bianconya a cute private jet be the betimi afa no ne entourage e de won wakwa direct near the one akọ. But look at the stress. Look at the stress. Look at the stress. For the president will wait in Dubai for 22 hours. 22 hours. And now no pay Ofrigana Sunday. Ofrigana Sunday. And anopa. And Okudzeto Japan. Can you even believe it? You know. But because of Nsem-Pii ya kika say yepetumia. Edi nobody can say omampenyi chata flight and our chata jeta. Uncover the most expensive, ostentatious private jet. If that happens, we have to criticize it. But we should not demonize the fact, say, omampenyi private jet. But we saw that happen in this country. And the number one culprit, Honorable Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa. You know, and some of these truths would have to be, we have to say them. Because ya nyanesa na ya clean slate no and open fresh page. This clearly cannot go on because we cannot subject our president to some of these things. I mean, to wait for 22 hours. 22 hours. It's unbelievable. You know, it's unbelievable. And say abayi beka private jet, makes a private jet. Presidential jet wasem krana na etwetwere wombo. Why? Because we're in this country when a member of parliament said, oh, presidential jet engine say baako say kra etimi rane ewo mienu aka. Can you believe it? Can you really believe that? And I believe if we want to have a conversation around retooling the Ghana Armed Forces, because I'm also here some new helicopters, at least from what has happened. If we need to have a conversation around acquiring a new presidential jet for the president, I think that conversation cannot be had until some public apology is rendered. And it's something that should happen. It's something that should happen. Because as I've said, the president cannot suffer for some indiscretion on the part of some of his party members who are now ministers of state. But how should a president traveling on a state visit move from Ghana Sunday enyumre and get to the destination Wednesday anopa? Really? To be waiting 22 hours transit ewo Dubai. Na watna train move from Tokyo to Yokohama, public train, passenger train, 2.5 hours. How should that happen? How should that happen? I am thinking, sir, if we would have this conversation around retooling the Ghana Armed Forces, around, if possible, sir, we would acquire even a new presidential jet. But that would have to go through, because we are told, sir, the presidential jet currently, France, our motion rehabilitated. That process should continue, and we should get all our experts to go and examine that presidential jet and see state But I think the most important thing is a public apology. I would think, sir, the president would have to impress on his Minister of Foreign Affairs to apologize to the Ghanaian people. Of course, I would agree with him on the criticism of maybe the kind of presidential jet, another chartered flight, and another Danko Akufo-Addo FI. Maybe it was too ostentatious. I mean, we can go into that argument and look at the hiring price, any BBR. But the comment he made about the presidential jet, that it was in very pristine, and the mass our word nekrabe popular, pristine condition. If it was in pristine condition, then 8 months down the line, we cannot be having a conversation around acquiring a new presidential jet. And that's what I'm saying, sir. If we would have that conversation, then some apology would have to be rendered. It has to be rendered because that conversation cannot be had. But we need to have that conversation because this stress our manpenyi go through should not be made to continue. No, it shouldn't. And I've said, sir, before we have that conversation, some apology would have to be rendered. We need to instill some principle in our politics. And people should be held responsible for what they say. It shouldn't be business as usual. No. People should be held responsible for the things they say. Because if you say, sir, the presidential jet then, 8 months ago, was in pristine condition, and that 3 engines, Bako Sayekra, 2, no bet me around here. And that is why we are here. I was on Mampenyi, almost 3 days to get to the destination from Ghana. You know, we need to open up and have that conversation. But some apologies would have to be rendered. I mean, I am looking at the president maybe instructing the minister, maybe the new minister of defense or BEFA, the minister of interior, the minister of finance, and the foreign affairs minister on one platform addressing the country. And in that address, the foreign affairs minister would have to render an apology to the Ghanaian people. Say, Ebia, make us say, minim. Oh, the flight was in pristine condition. Presidential jet was in pristine condition. I didn't have all the information because it's clear. Say all the information was not there. And I say, no information, but it was just propaganda as usual. And I believe we have to attach all the seriousness to this matter, but apologies would have to be rendered. Because this is unbelievable. I mean, for the president to be waiting for 22 hours. Really? It's not cool. It's not cool. And if it means we have to get a new presidential jet, we need to have that conversation. You know, but first, some public apology would have to be rendered. It's only fair that happens. It's only fair that happens. Mediano ebesiana atwatwe si saying higher Nsem-Pii FM. If you've got any thoughts to share, 0548 443 523 0548 443 523. Now into that our WhatsApp number into a see saying Sunny.
Did you say
Adam now swear
Yami Busku.
Good. Mijidi and come more around, you know, this whole attack on Rage Hospital, the Abuba Bar Ministry issue statement, and the minority Frankazans more issue statement. Ojen saying putting on your legal lens, no, breach of privacy and all of that, and not to say and send our general impression about the whole issue, and so to say, me pacho.
Oh my, well, you know, with us say, oh mama pregay. Now. Also, Yana me very interested in governance standards, standards in government, and the values and principles. If we say, the chairman is see to me your standards for no writer. Ye koye ni no impuntu no enye din MIA. Na see nya values no any standards no any principles no writer. The BCS say Tibia no na ya no dane. So emma impuntu emma. On say we test be every send a message in all can say governor negligence in our health facilities no me idea.
Yes.
So yana a border on the standards, the principles and values. In Tuba who say idea be a said you be pay after no waiting ukruman. Unim so kwama no near to me yet. So in Tubans or kwama no near swamp and yampa, draw your ukruman on yet that. Enuntina amanone no obako mwenima yenko yenima. Enti ene mame no ya na the principles no, the standards in governance, standards in workplace, standards in policy delivery no ya na hear me.
Yeah.
In addition to the law no me there. Now what's statement back from the Ministry of Health or my Obi is so sad to say the least. And there a call so a war hospital one. Yen the call so meboa. Video na about out to yen you see ye meboa.
Yes.
Yen you ye. Enti say okay what issue statement condemning what happened there. Right? Who condemned the assault on the nurses, the doctors, the health workers, and the invasion of privacy. Not just in the sea was one and I will condemn me.
Yes.
And na yen nipa or then shooting issue statement a while more depending in the statement. And condemn me, I'll condemn me, not a sincere. No, sincere. So I say, I'm a doctor and I'm a nurse and I'm a health worker. And rich hospitaler, who can make worried, Papa. So I say, I'm a mobile and I said, be able to grieve. I said, your many people to me holding the whole nation to ransom. So, share a branch or not, it may be all your demonstration. Na demonstration all year, or she will be sick. 37 military hospital crying. Ubi could be sure and say, I didn't know sick crying. Was a Ghana for Sebu, just a according to me, Sebi entity, mentity, to be ground with it, so for me. But he didn't do a cry. He didn't do a cry. I just said, Sebi. We prepare Sebi, Sebu, free, Yatino, the bit being a no pressure after Ghana for. So, open and now near penny Stevenamwa, honorable, near you no on the ceremonial stage of Parliament. So I say, and then what could you see? Yet decide, so a China will be the obey. Now, as the thing say, Minister for Health will really see statement now or purporting. Or condemn it at the end. Now, when Tinyam more a branch in so now when Tinyam will let it in, we no again or no one is sorry. The Papa Moa. The Papa Moa. The full say the Minister of Health. The Minister of Health. Kudra Yedi Juma Unibi. Yetrana Poshishe. So, I'm setting the right standards, the right principles for lucky. The first said the Minister of Health on transformation the conduct review. So I say,
yeah, but on the hugging of the guy in question, no, Minister Nika said he couldn't have said, say, a branch and a training Sasa Obechiano. On camera, ni bibi no akase dabi menchiao men hagel any other. That would also not have sent the right picture about him.
The right signal. Me pacho sebi yeni ye matifi. E to de bia omudi bonia ye tia omu. E non chese ye tia omu. So ta say.
Yes.
Sebi yeni ya mo omu ye bonia to de bia omudi prison you know. E no traimu e for correction. So I say, na Sabu, Nipano, or yeah, born and went to me and Mudi plant, Tinan Wakrata, so who we know again one. What can you see any at your nature? Can you see any dear nature?
Yeah.
So, check, and now, Sana, Ulibabaka Mopomao, also or your demonstration. Now, Wakupu police car key. Na essence na Ghana for Sebu na do video omohinti. MPP for your omohinti. They didn't find fault with it. Opening, if I would say, if you are seeking fan a bit me akotu police car key afa wodi if you are seeking fan you from the US if you say US who hear demonstration akotu police car key when you trade it in for the UK when you trade it in so sabi if you are say so no but if you don't want tiano tell suban no de be kwa bontin you will say you will fear you na you free you want to tear you fear but on a broader scale no Ghana ni fear say am tia ya fu Ghana fear ochina say suban no ye de be kwa bontin ya fa kwa bontin so a sabi ubefu no ye de denyi e de dinia aye niema emfata e be say man no the so say the Minister for Health he should take a second view of his own policy.
Now share on my YouTube channel.
Be the first to know Nsem-Pii.